Hi, my name's Jodelle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today we're talking about 13 questions every entrepreneur should be asking themselves. So stay tuned and let's jump into it. So all entrepreneurs should be asking themselves these questions. No matter how long they've been in business, these questions are designed to give you clarity on your purpose and direction for your next steps. So as you listen, jot down the first answer that comes to your mind, as sometimes those can be very revealing. If you can't write anything down at the moment, don't worry. I'll put the questions down in the show notes for ease of reference. Okay, so we'll start with question number 1. Define your business at its core. When you dig into this question, you will probably come up to the conclusion that your business is helping people. So what I challenge you to do is to dig into that a little bit more. Let's take the business of Halloween decorations because it's right around the corner and who doesn't love Halloween? So if my business is selling Halloween decorations, what's at the core of my business? I want to provide easily accessible, affordable Halloween decorations for the average person. And you just want to get super clear on what it is at the core of your business that you're providing. It's a really great practice to define your business at its core so that when you tell your story about your business, you have a lot to say. You've thought about it. You know exactly what you are offering people and what needs you're filling. Question number 2, this one's a 3-parter. Where do you see yourself after 1 year? Where do you see yourself after 5 years? And what does your ultimate end goal look like? That could be in 10 years, 20 years, whatever that is. What does that ultimate end goal of your life look like? If I was going to fast forward a year from now, I've got a mentee that I'm mentoring. In 5 years from now, I have a successful YouTube channel. And then my ultimate goal, if I was going to dream big, shoot for the stars, I would be modeling, doing horror fashion shoots, and I would be making YouTube videos that were wildly popular, helping people become the best versions of themselves. And I would be doing consulting. I would go into someone's business and help them, do one-on-ones with them and see where they can improve their business. I think that's something that's a passion of mine. I really love seeing patterns in things. And so to get to that point where I was invited into somebody's world and I could give them feedback, I'm so passionate about that. Or I'd be in a horror movie. Oh my gosh. If I could be in a horror movie, screaming as the baddie drags me down the hall, that would be my glory. But you can see, even starting to ask these questions, even of yourself, it really gets you thinking and it gets you kind of excited for what life has to offer and where you could go with it. So question number 3, as you're thinking about your business, what do you want your first impression to be? Because that first impression is going to be a lasting impression. So really think about it. Think about what someone is seeing or feeling when they have that first touch point of your product, of your business. What mark are you making on them? Question number 4. What image comes to your mind when you think about your brand? This is where you want to have a clear image, a clear brand that when someone thinks of your product, they visualize your logo. So these questions are going to promote a lot of brainstorming. So jot down a few different images that you think represent your brand. Question number 5. What phrases or words come to mind when you think about your brand? Now, in the example of the Halloween store, it could be affordable. It could be spooky. There's all sorts of different words and phrases that you're going to be able to attach to your brand to get you really keyed in on clarity on what the purpose of your business is, what the story of your business is, what the image of your business is. The more clarity you have, the more consistent you are, the more memorable you'll be. Question number 6, know your target audience. Now, this one is such a great question. It comes up all the time in YouTube suggestions. When YouTube mentors are mentoring up and coming YouTube artists, they always say, know your audience, know exactly who your target audience is, because that's who you're speaking to. That's who you're selling to. You're going to be able to really target the certain words that you're using, certain images that you're using, the lingo or the jargon that you use. So again, that's really keying in. That's really understanding your business inside and out. Number 7. What is your favorite thing about your business? What do you like about your business? Whatever that is, lean in on that. That is the secret sauce. That's the thing that you're passionate about. That's going to be one of your driving forces. And people will be able to feel that when you're sharing that with them. So lean into that. Question number 8. What is a pain point in your business for you right now? This is something that you feel is holding you back from a higher level of success. The second part to that question is, what is the pain point for your customer? And sometimes this can be really hard to differentiate because we're so invested in our business that it's hard for us to put the shoe on the other foot and now be the customer. This is where you might want to ask for feedback and be open to what that feedback is. I was able to give feedback on someone's business. I had asked this question, what's the pain point for your customer? and all they could come up with was a pain point for them, or what they perceived to be a pain point for the customer. And as somebody with, like me, coming in with fresh eyes, looking at their whole website, looking at the whole platform, that wasn't a pain point for me. I had no problem with what they thought was one of their biggest issues. I was able to give that feedback, and at some point they may or may not be able to hear it or use it, and that's okay, right? They take what works for them and they leave what doesn't. And asking for an outside viewpoint on that is probably going to be the most helpful, unless you're really good at zooming out from the problem and having a look at the big picture. Now, I do have a video on that specifically, so I will link it here, either here or here, and you can click on it and see if it's something that you think, a skill that you could hone, as it would come in super handy for something like this. So question number 9. This is a little more personal, but what are your characteristics and what are your behavior traits? It's going to lead into the next question, so just trust the process. So if I think about my characteristics and my behavior traits, I would say that I'm still impatient. I like things to happen right away, and I expect a high level of productivity out of people and out of myself. I also have a characteristic of punctuality. I am always on time. In fact, my motto for life is I'd rather be an hour early than a minute late. I'm also pretty excitable, and I can get really enthusiastic, and it can come across a little young. So my enthusiasm can present as silliness or maybe a lack of confidence. So you want to write down all these characteristics and behavior traits, because question number 10 is, what characteristics do you want for your business? And you're going to choose from the characteristics and the behavior traits above that you want for your brand. Some of them you're not going to want. You're not going to want to bring that personal behavior trait into your brand. And so by being aware of that trait, you're going to be able to avoid it or work around it a lot better. Question number 11, what makes you unique? And this is stuff that makes you stand out, because we're all so similar in so many ways. We just need to find the little hook, the little thing that makes us different to make us stand out from the crowd. Question number 12, brainstorm different ways to advertise your business. Think outside the box. We have this great little newsletter that goes in all the coffee shops in town called Coffee News. And that's a really great way to advertise without spending a ton of money. But if you brainstorm often and you brainstorm early about different ways to advertise, you're going to come up with some really interesting outside the box ideas. And finally, question number 13, is there an add-on or a collaboration that makes sense? In my example of a Halloween store, perhaps it's just a little pop-up store, and maybe what I do is invite someone in to read tarot cards every Sunday. That could be a small add-on to my business that would enhance the business, that would enhance the customer experience in my business. That would probably make it a little unique. That would give me an edge over the competition. Similarly, a collaboration could be a great addition to your business. So if my friend had a business, I would act as a consultant for their business, and perhaps on their website, they would put a link to my channel where I talk about leadership in business, so it becomes a symbiotic relationship. There's a benefit to both of us, and we're both advertising each other's businesses. And so really thinking about collaborations like that could be what moves your business forward in a new and exciting way. That's the best thing about asking yourself these questions, and asking these questions again and again, or asking the entrepreneur in your life some of these questions to help them think, help them brainstorm, help them break out of the everyday thinking process, because we can get so stuck in a rut that we just can't think outside the box anymore. We can't come up with new ideas. We can't come up with a fresh perspective. And I actually made another video about that, stuck in a rut, getting a fresh perspective, and I'll link that here as well. So in saying that, there's lots of great content on YouTube, which if you're here, I'm sure you already know, but there's lots of great content out there to help every little pain point, every little hiccup along the way, to help you get out of that and start looking at things differently. So I hope these questions helped. Like I said, you can find them down below in the description. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you liked what you saw. If you did, sub if you love, and I will catch you in another video. Bye!